Hello, my lovely book lovers. Welcome back to Procrastinate with Books. This is me, Yamini, and today we are going to go on Goodreads platform. Now, as you all know that the year is about to end, and I know that might sound the most cliche thing that you might be hearing right now, and it's unbelievable, yet it's real. So, getting to the part that our lives is going to get further busier because of vacations, family times, lots of pending works to do in corporate world, and so many other scenarios that demand your attention. I know the guilt of not dedicating enough time to your reading could be real, especially because it is for me too. So today I have in here a few recommendation video which is basically like a walkthrough through the whole Goodreads list containing mangas, graphic novels and other such entities in the whole realm of illustrated representations in books that actually makes reading easier for you. Hello again. So we'll be starting off with this complete list of graphic novels and comics books that are available here on the Goodreads. And I think I'll quickly go through them and let you know which are the best ones to check out of these. I think Nimona, which has already been discussed in our last video of books to screen episode, is one book that you should definitely check out. It's a great graphic novel. The saga has multiple volumes if you are interested in these kinds of books. That's sadly not my kind of territory, so I don't really venture into them. Watchmen I have not really checked. Heartstopper I have recommended this book several times on my platform, so it's a must check if you do enjoy gay romances, LGBT tropes, and graphic novel representations, because the graphic novel representation in here is really cute. So if you're looking for cozy vibe, I think this one's for you. Then there are Through the Woods, which I don't have much clue about. The Sandman has multiple novels. Then again, it also has an online series. If you are interested, you can watch. I did not really enjoy the series that much. I instead prefer the bookish version of the story much better compared to it. So that's that. Paper Girls, I've really heard a lot about the whole series of Paper Girls. I think it's a good one. If you do enjoy the actual story, you would enjoy the graphic representation too. The same Heartstopper. Then again, V for Vendetta is something that I don't personally enjoy, but it's really a good graphic novel. So for the people who do enjoy such kind of stories, I think it would be worth venturing into. Again, the saga Heartstopper, I think things are repeating in. The Tea Dragon Society is something that I've been seeing really often recommended to me, so I'm sure going to add this. Let's just copy the image and put it in here on the shelf. Oh, it's not really coming nice. We'll just remove it. So I think I'll be adding the Tea Dragon Society to my TBR because this is something that I really want to check. Going forward ahead, I think the Fun Home, a family trial comic, is again something that I have already recommended to you on one of the graphic novel representations on LGBT trope. It's another great, really. It's actually into a memoir category, but then again, the graphic representations really make the story pretty interesting to read. So I think you can give this a go if memoirs are your thing. And apart from that, then we have Moss. Moss is another great story, especially with everything going on currently with Palestine. I think this is something that people should read. And it's actually an interesting one, and this is something that I've been putting aside for a very long time. I'm not really sure when I'll get to it, but it's a really good book. Up next, we have The Complete Persepolis. This is again something that was mentioned in the last video. It's a really great book, and I think all the people, especially people who are in the coming of age category, must really read this book. It's a pretty interesting one. The Marvel series is something that is basically recommended for the Marvel fan. I'm not really a 200% Marvel fans to actually venture into the comic section, but I can do still with the movies. Persepolis, this is one of the parts of the Persepolis book. So earlier this book was mentioned in different parts and published in separate entities, but now you can actually get this particular version for the complete get-up story if you want to read it. Pumpkinhead is something that if you are really craving for fall vibes, I think this would be the best graphic novel to venture into, especially if you're also just starting in and you really want something cozy to be read upon in an autumn night. I think Pumpkinhead should be your choice. It's a wonderful book in that category. I think the next book that really catches my eye is Lore Olympus. I think this book came out last year or early this year. I can't really recall exactly, but this was another graphic novel around some Greek mythology story. But I've heard mixed reviews about this one, so I'm not really sure if I should be recommending this or not. Sheets is something really cute story actually. So you can read this. It's pretty short too. I found an ARC on NetGalley for this one and it was really cute. So yes, I do recommend Sheets to you if you are in a little cozy, spooky kind of a vibe. And with that, I think we have been done with the first 50 books. Let's simply refresh the page and go to the next one and see what we have in there. Okay, mooncakes. I've heard a lot about it, but I'm not really sure how I feel about this book, so I won't recommend it. Fruits Basket, again, this has been recommended to me by several YouTubers too. I started reading this, but I couldn't really get a hang of it, the kind of story pull and the anime that's there in here. I don't think it's effective to my taste, so I give this a pass. Then again, let's see what we have. I think The Ghost World is something that people can really try. It's a really interesting book. Moving next, I think they called us Enemy. It's a little so-so, not so much that I would recommend. Most part to it, again, you can read the whole book together and not necessarily to be read in parts. I think it's pretty short for that. Fence, again, I think I've heard Alexandra Roslin recommend this book a lot. She's a big fan of this book, so I have this in my radar and maybe I'll give this a try considering how vastly appreciated this book is specifically. Then again, moving, I don't think we have a lot of books. Paper Girls, again, the next part. Several of them are simply sequences to the next part in the coming series, right? Snapdragon, I haven't really heard about these. Looks like I have not read a couple of them to be sure. I think I might instead go ahead and do the books that I've read. I think one witchy story was really interesting to be sure. And then we are coming to the third page, which starts off with Sandman, which I've already recommended. Then again, Fence Volume 2. I think it will be simply filled with the different volumes of the same graphic novel stories. Paper Girls again. At the rate at which we are possibly going right now, I think we'll be done with this whole list pretty quickly. I think Lore Olympus Volume 2 is something that I've not read yet, and I think you guys can check it out for yourself. Himawari House is actually a really great book, so if you are into Japanese stories, anime, manga style, I think this is a great graphic novel for you guys to check in. Then let's move ahead. A lot of repetitions, different volumes, and we'll just keep going to the next tab until we feel like we have a good some collection. And I think maybe until the page 5 should really do the job in this case, because I'm not really finding any more good novels. I don't know why this whole link was even recommended to me. Just a few handful ones. I think I've got 2 books so far that I really want to add to my TBR. Rest I've read and the others I'm not really interested in. So let's see. Preacher is again something that few people read, but it's not something for everybody. So you might want to make a close call on that one. Let's go to the next one and see what it has in store for us. Now I'm not really sure if I really want to go ahead to the next page. I think I'll keep this one as last, and if we don't really find one book in here to add to the TBR or for recommendation, then we'll possibly go to the next page too. I think Fruit Basket we have already discussed. Nothing much to say in there. Batman, again, something that's, Marvel fans want to read up, pick this up. But other than that, Snow Glass, Apples, haven't heard a thing. The Witch Hat, I think I've heard a few people talk about this on Bookstar, but not many so far. Moonstruck, again, great novel, should read. Okay, so I think this list is slightly better than the first 2 pages for the very least. Coraline, okay, I think this, no, this by a different author actually. The initial Coraline that we read was by Neil Gaiman, and even the movie, the animated movie that's there, is also by him. So I think this is something that we should give it a try and see how different it is. Though comparing two different books from such a wide arena is not really a good idea, but why not? Let's check it out. And with that, we are arriving to the final page, and this is the max that I'll be giving it. Okay, Avatar The Last Airbender, this one's really good. And this one is actually really good. If you want to try, I've heard several amazing praises about this book, the both books, the first book and the second book. So fan of this, definitely recommending it. I think that lists completely have like seriously one or two per person that you would actually like, given the sheer amount of books that have been added in here. And I'm not really sure why people have rated it so bad. There was this one book that I read very back in time. I think I read it somewhere around in 2011 or something, and I did not really like it, so big time no for this one. And Lore Olympus again. Oh, it has a third book too. I was not aware about it. Okay. I don't know why they have created the yearbook, because I just like the Heartstopper series as is. Don't play with the story and try to create different things out of it. The whole commercialization aspect is not really something that I enjoy. Okay, I think with that we have made it up to page 6, and I don't think it's being fruitful anymore, so let's just wrap this up here. Now, considering all the books that I've been through, I think there's few that I've handpicked. A lot of them are series. The first one is the Witch Hatter series that you can see in here. I think it has multiple books. I'll just go on with the first book, try it, and find out how I feel about this. The next that's added to the TBR is the Fence series. It has 4, 5, okay, 6 volumes so far. Let's hope that does not grow on us. Lore is something that I've read the first two, but I'm 4, 5. Oh my goodness. I don't think all the books are out yet, but I'm not really sure, so I will have to check that out for myself. The Tree Dragon series is something that I find really fancy and cute, so I think I would definitely give this a try. And looking at the book somehow makes me feel that it's not too long as well, so we can definitely try. And the final one that we have is the Moss series. It just has 2 books, and I think just like Persepolis, the first two would be combined in here in a single book, and I think I can find this combined edition in Amazon too. So let's keep our fingers crossed and get few of these checked out. And with that, my friends, I would like to take your leave. I hope you guys enjoyed a lot of the insights that were shared in here, and you did find something that truly is worth your time and efforts to put in the busy season of festivities. I really hope that you do enjoy reading, and as long as you are reading something, irrespective of what it's are, whether it's newspaper, magazines, cover books, illustrated books, comics for that matter, or any other educational book, just keep reading and stay happy. That's all I have to say to you. I'll catch up with you in my next video. Until then, keep your coffee strong and your TBRs long. Goodbye.